We're looking at energy demand in this section. So, syllabus content on energy demand. So, we'll try as much as we can to finish the aspect of energy demand, and I think also with energy conservation and management of energy resources. So, if we can do that within this course of this lesson, good. But if we're unable to do that, I'll make sure we're able to finish the aspect of energy demand. And also, so all we need to know is to describe and explain the factors affecting the demand for energy. So the factors affecting the demand for energy, and further guidance, we look at this energy demand, we look at domestic demand, we look at industrial demand for energy, transport, personal and national wealth, and also climate, how they affect the demand for energy. So quickly, let's see. So factors affecting the demand slash use for energy. Um, so we'll look at domestic, industrial, transport, personal and national wealth, and climate as these major factors. So, domestic demand. Now, it's created by domestic demand is created by first affordability, availability, and also social status. Is it affordable? Is it available? And also your social status will determine which type of this energy consuming appliances can you afford. Now, most of the purchases that are considered as necessities now increases the demand for energy supplies, notably what electricity. So electricity is quite important, it's a necessity, and if it cannot be generated by your country of residence, you have to look for alternative means to be able to meet your domestic need. Now, but industrial demand. So manufacturing require the use of large amount of energy throughout the production process. Example are the iron and steel production. And advanced manufacturing techniques made the products that were once luxury items cheaper. So more people, because of advanced manufacturing techniques, it has made some luxury items cheaper. So as a result, more people want to buy them, or more people will be able to afford it. So the demand for the product will now increase because there is increase in population, and as a result of drop in price, there's high demand. So more people will demand for the product, and the demand for energy will also increase because there are more people now consuming that or using that same product that need high amount of electricity for it to function. So that also increases the demand for this individual form of energy. So the next is transport. Transport. Now, manufacturers supply customers across the globe with goods and services. Therefore, they need to transport these goods and services to their customers. And most all these transport vessels, be it ship, be it plane, be it cars, all of them need energy for movement. All the whole form of transport system need energy for movement. So this decreases production costs in countries that import, but increases the transport cost as they require large amount of fossil fuel to operate each of these vehicles from the production process down to the distribution process. Now, how does personal and national wealth affect the demand for energy? So we are going to look at this aspect from two point of views. So we'll look at it from the economic, if the economic condition of the country is good. So I tend to call this more economically developed countries. And if the economic condition of the country is poor, so let's look at less economically developed countries like Nigeria. Here we can now use UK as where the economic condition is good, and here we can use Nigeria where the economic condition is, let me leave it there. Now, if economic conditions are good, what do you expect? Higher employment. And if there is high employment of the people, then more money will be available for them to spend. And if there is more money available for them to spend, it will not lead to increased demand for products that uses electricity, and if there is increased demand for product, there's obviously an increased demand for energy. So this is more like a stepwise explanation of this concept. But if like Nigeria, for example, that the economy, I don't know whether it's poor because I don't know, but where the economy is at where it is, so in a poor economy, find that families have less money to spend on luxury items. So if there is less money to spend, there is need to make more savings. So if you need to save because there's less money to spend, then there will be reduced use in fossil fuel because most people will not be able to afford it, and also their purchasing power will decrease. So even these luxury items they cannot afford. So it will reduce. This will reduce the purchase and use of electrical item, which will now decrease the demand for energy. So lastly, climate. The demand for energy with regard to climate depend on the country. The demand for energy with respect to climate depend on the country. So people living in temperate climate, people living in temperate climate are likely to experience cooler winters. So the energy demand for heating would be far higher. The energy demand for heating will be far higher. So they also experience fewer hours of daylight, which increases the usage of electrical lightning to keep the environment warm. Now, but climate change, so if you have excessive heat or cold, increases energy consumption, particularly in urban areas. So if the environment is cold, then you need additional heating. And if it is hot, you still need an air conditioning system to keep it down, to keep the temperature low. So that's how climate also affects weather. So that's it on energy demand. So I think part